Oh, hello. I didn't see you there, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotzben and Friends, where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
Tiago.
Hello.
And Rose.
Hi.
Just to set things up again, in case you have missed the first episode, Dessy and I are both longtime fans of Ace Attorney and have played just about every game, whereas Rose and Tiago have never played any of the games until now, and will hopefully be providing a unique perspective as folks that are coming to these games fresh. So last time we did Case 1-1, the tutorial case, Turnabout Beginnings, the very first game in the very first case, in the very first game. Today, over the last 2 weeks here, we played 1-2, which is Turnabout Sisters, the second case in the game, and the first case that introduces the investigation mechanic. Basically, the game is divided up into two segments at any time. You're either doing an investigation segment or a courtroom segment. So Turnabout Sisters starts us off with some shocking surprises as we get an intro where a man sneaks into Mia Fey's office and murders her with the Thinker. This clock / statue once again coming up as a murder weapon. Phoenix shows up and finds Maya Fey, Mia's younger sister, here, and also then the dead body of Mia. They call the cops, and the game then transitions to the next day, in which everybody assumes it was Maya who murdered her. So yeah, this one, just to kind of cover, I guess, the rest of the summary is Phoenix starting to investigate with the witness. The witness here is April May for day one, who claims that she saw Maya kill Mia. And then after investigating her, he also investigates Mia Fey's old teacher, Marvin Grossberg, who has another law office, and she studied under him, before she founded her own law offices. And then Phoenix proceeds to move into the courtroom phase, where he, attempts to grill April May and prove that she did not actually see Maya, murder Mia, and that she's fibbing.
Fibbing.
So yeah, that's the first half here. The second half, then we get introduced to the man who was staying with April May, who is Wright, kind of our evil CEO type character, really glamorous, opulent asshole who thinks very, very highly of himself and runs this information gathering company, basically infosec type shit. And of course, he's quickly revealed to be like the mastermind behind all this. It's not very subtle, but he's he's been looking for info on Mia because she was investigating him, because he's got politicians and lawyers, like all kinds of high up people. He's got them under his thumb because he's got dirt on all of them, right? Yeah. So yeah, he in a shocking moment that I forgot about, he beats Phoenix up in his office. I legitimately forgot that he just literally assaults Phoenix and punches him in the face.
I found that so weird.
It was just says, "Get the fuck out of my office."
I thought
you can't do anything against me.
I thought I died. Like I fucked up, and then I got killed by him, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Right? Yeah. Like, oh wait a minute, did I choose a wrong option somehow?
Yeah.
Reload the game.
Yeah. And so then you get as much evidence as you can, which thankfully Mia had some evidence stashed away that you're able to access, and you go to court with it. But unfortunately, the evidence is not enough to beat this guy because he's got the entire court system, under his thumb, and you have to faint in court because Maya channels the spirit of Mia and undergoes a transformation to appear as your old boss.
Okay.
And then she says, "Okay, now take a look at this receipt that you've had in your inventory the whole time. Flip it over and look on the other side." And that is the decisive bit of evidence there that this lamp that Red White claimed he had seen is, of course, was bought the day before. So he couldn't have seen it a week in advance. And that is the main contradiction. He, even though you find him in this contradiction, he then, of course, goes, "Well, that doesn't matter. I'm still going to walk away from this." And then you guilt him by reading the list of people that he had convinced and blackmailed, into such a despairing position that they committed suicide. You read off this list of names and guilt him to the point where he's like, "All right, fine, okay. I admit it. I killed Mia Fey." And it's a wild collection of events for the fucking second case of the game. There's so much going on here.
I have a lot of feelings about this case. First of all, did you mention the fucking recap that Maya Fey's a goddamn spirit medium and that there's ghosts and shit?
We did talk about this last episode where I explained that I didn't know that she was actually a spirit medium. I thought she was faking it, and it was like just like part of the story.
Right.
So yeah, now I know for sure.
It's so fucking.
It's all
fun.
real.
Her boobs became ginormous. God.
When she channels her sister, she adopts her sister's appearance in all aspects.
Oh boy.
In all forms, including physical. I am my sister.
Wow. She got taller too. That was something.
This game really does speak to me in like a mid 2000s era, cause like I remember when. All right, I actually wrote this down because actually for the first time in my fucking life took notes.
Nice.
Dude, thanks. Fucking, like, we have so many fucking boob jokes this goddamn case, with April May being like a hot, seductive witness, and she's like seducing the bellboy into acting as an alibi, or like just seducing him in a way that like he just melts in the palm of her hand. And then I guess I should have noticed that there was a good queen.
I'm right as should say it.
I have a question, Ben, because I assume that you've already done the research. I want to know why she's called April May, just because it's the month days? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I did some research into this for both April May and Red White's names. I could not find anything on the old Capcom Unity blogs from Janet Sue, who is
there must have been like a Japanese kind of thing, and they couldn't quite translate it the right way.
Well, yeah, the Japanese names are actually are not like month puns or color puns at all. They are just a different sort of pun, entirely unrelated. So they went with a totally different pun format for these characters rather than try to local. But no, it seems like since this was early on that they were just like, we're just gonna go with some goofy names, that are kind of funny, but these are not direct puns as far as I can tell. It's just like I thought that maybe there was something going on with like a Playboy girl, like Miss May or Miss April kind of thing going on here.
So good.
But I think it is just literally April and May, and then Red White obviously runs Blue Corp, so it's just Red, White, and Blue. And there are a couple jokes where he acts like he's not American, where he says like, "You Americans are so silly," and Phoenix is like, "But you're fucking American, dude." Like you can't say damn Americans when you're American too.
Yeah.
Bruh, I say that shit all the time. I don't know what you're talking Oh, wow.
I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. These goddamn fucks. I was just like, man, this case is very like a lot of boob jokes happening this time around, huh?
See,
And then,
I had a weird experience. I opened this cutscene up. The first thing I'm like, okay, time to do the case. I'm gonna bang it out this one evening because I got time. And this like clearly dramatic scene is happening where she's getting murdered, and it's like the opening scene of like a Columbo episode, or like I'm gonna date myself a little here, or even like a Criminal Minds episode where you see the murder happen.
We're dating ourselves with Criminal Minds, like
as opposed to
don't say that.
As opposed to
As
Columbo.
close to Columbo.
And I got completely my immersion ruined because he said a word that was not a word, and I was like, I don't know what this word means, and there's my mother on the couch with me, and I go, Mom, is this a word? And she's like, that doesn't sound like a word. I don't know if that's a word. And so I got mad, and I threw the DS down, and I looked up this word online, and it was a bunch of Ace Attorney forums, and I just saw like, is a made up word, and I just like frantically closed Windows, and went back to the case. But I was just like, oh my god.
Introduced to Red White's bizarre vocabulary immediately, and immediately noticed it.
It threw me.
He just makes up words.
It threw me so hard. So throughout this entire case, I was dying.
Okay.
Yeah. It's his verbiage is a nightmare.
Mm.
I like that it's all front because the second you get him to sweat, he just shuts the fuck up. He just like he stops using all this fucking stupid ass words.
Yeah, as soon as he starts sweating, he just talks normally. Yeah, it is a nice touch there. What do you guys think about doing like an investigation segment where you're like moving around between the different scenes, talking to different people? Did you make that adjustment real easily? Like that was like, oh, okay, I get this. I've done a visual novel before. I know what I'm doing.
I have some thoughts. I don't know if you want to go first, Tiago, or.
Yeah, I'll go first because I think mine may go into something else that we're talking about. Because we should say that we're all playing on like different platforms, right? I'm playing on the Nintendo.
What are you talking about? We're playing on the DS.
No, I'm not playing on the Nintendo DS, my friend. I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch because I bought the trilogy on it like a year ago or two.
I'm totally not playing.
I'm not playing on an emulator. I'm literally playing on the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, me and Ben.
I'm playing on a 2DS.
Yeah, so
we've got the full breadth here. Don't worry.
Yeah. So like the one that Rose is playing is the one for like 2DS, right? Where it's like the from the 3DS eShop, where it's like it has the enhanced graphics, right, Rose?
I don't. That's the thing is I don't know if it has the enhanced graphics or not.
Oh, fair. Good point.
I haven't the foggiest idea.
Is it pixels?
The 3D.
It's pixely, but it's not entirely pixely.
Okay. Because, like, I remember when... This goes back into the fact that Ben is also playing this game on Twitch. Go check it out. Because I opened up Ben's thing on Twitch. This does relate to what we're talking about. This is a long tangent. When I went to check out the Twitch that Ben was doing, and I saw that when you hovered over something that was investigatable, that there was, like, something that popped up.
Examine.
Examine on the bottom right.
I have that also.
You have that also. Well, when I do it on the Switch, that doesn't show up. Instead, the cursor changed into a different color. The cursor changes from like blue to yellow.
Ah, so you don't get the little button that says like examine.
No, it just like lets me click on this.
Right, because you don't have two screens. You only have the single screen.
Yes. So basically, what happened was like, as I was investigating, the fucking, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cursor.
The cursor, the magnifying glass. There it is.
Right.
It would change color. So when I was investigating, I was just like, oh, this is going to change color? I'm just going to sweep the screen for every item. I don't have to worry about missing anything. Including, like, stuff that I thought was investigatable, but wasn't, like, the fucking phone that was on the floor in, like, the first room.
Right.
So, like, I was like, I wonder if this is also translated into the DS versions. But I guess not.
No, it is definitely something that they have added over the years to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, when you say magnifying glass, the original version was like a crosshair that you dragged around
Yeah,
the
that's what
bottom
I have
screen.
too.
Yeah. So, and it does not like change color or anything when you select something. So you just have to keep clicking around till you found everything. I thankfully have my memory of what is mostly interactable, but I still don't remember every detail, so I still have to click around a little bit. So I don't know. For you then, Rose, did you have a tough time picking out what was an item that you could get info on and what was just background?
I did not actually. I
Okay.
love point and click games. Like that's kind of my as far as a gaming background goes. But that was pretty much all I had as a kid. It's a bunch of like point and click computer games, so I'm super into those. And I didn't struggle much at all with the investigating. In fact, I found myself running up against some wall. Like, I felt like I was hitting the guardrails of the game, basically. Because I would say, well, obviously I need to go here and look at this. And I'd be in this area clicking around furiously, mad that it wasn't letting me investigate or progress. And then I realized, oh, I gotta go talk to this man, and he's gotta tell me to go look at this bookshelf, and then I'll be allowed to look at the bookshelf.
Oh yeah, when you
We were talking about that when we were playing, about how sometimes in this game, from experiences, sometimes you are like, oh, and you're like 2 steps ahead, but there's a piece of the game that you have to hit first before you do it. So you're literally like a step ahead of the game in terms of figuring things out.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I had like the answers. I was just sort of like, well, this is where I would want to go click, because like, I want to steal everything that's not nailed down. That's how you play a point and click adventure game.
yeah.
Exactly.
But I was just sort of like, I can't pick things up until I talk to all the NPCs and show them the right stuff. And I feel like that's the flow of that is going to improve the more games in the series there are. Obviously, this is the first one, so I still had a great time.
I think that might feel like that too. You start to get into cases.
Yeah. I still had fun, so I wouldn't even say I'm knocking it necessarily, but I did sort of identify something that was me struggling a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it was pretty good if the NPCs like telling you things like every now and then someone would be like, "Oh, you can't do anything else with that," or "You're done with this now," or "You should go talk to this person." And I was like, "Oh, thank God."
I'm like not fucking talking to you anymore, so get lost.
Yeah, and I was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
what if I want to talk to you some more, April May? I thought she was so funny. I was just laughing the whole time.
Well, yeah, as far as all
love
the NPCs, then, yeah, we got April May that you were introduced to. We meet Marvin Grossberg, and this is also our first time meeting Dick Gumshoe.
Oh.
Like outside of the courtroom, like we get to meet him.
We met him in the first case, right?
No. He
No?
wasn't there. No.
Yeah, I don't believe he testified in the first one.
Ben, you paused, and I thought that buildup was going to be the fucking Miles Edgeworth, and you go to Dick Gumshoe instead.
Yeah.
What do you mean, who?
Miles who?
Listen, I'm saving Miles Edgeworth for after we talk about the other NPC.
Oh, fuck. Okay, fair enough.
No, that was the right call, Ben.
I'll close the door. My bad.
My brain's getting mixed up because we played the first and second half separately, and I'm getting the first half up with this first case.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's just I'm just having difficulty separating them.
But yeah, it sounds like everybody was like, okay, anyway, Marvin Grossberg and Gumshoe, you guys can just sit over here. We want to talk to April May.
Yeah.
I don't like Grossberg simply because, like, I don't know. I look at him.
His character's a fat joke, unfortunately.
I know.
It's not great.
But
it's
also,
not great.
I looked at him and I was like, God, there truly is a mirror in the zoo.
Oh, Tiago.
Listen, I just didn't like. No, it was the fact that it wasn't even necessarily his fat joke thing that got to me. It was the fact that he overspends on stupid bullshit, and I'm looking at my current desk right now, and there's so much shit I don't need on it, and I'm like,
no.
I would have an opulent fucking table if I was an asshole.
Tiago, do you have like a big like abnormally large painting of a fisherman, out in the outback,
my most
hanging up on your wall.
My most prized poster is the artist that the Metal Gear artist paint drawing poster, the Metal Gear Solid poster. I'm gonna get there, Des. Please, God, keep this in. The Metal Gear Solid post artist. Oh my God, Tess!
God, stop interrupting him.
Don't you tell me how to live my life? Fuck you.
God, fuck, dude. The artist who drew the Metal Gear Solid promotional artwork, where that artist also drew Pacific Rim artwork. So it's just the picture of the Jaeger in Metal Gear Solid style. That shit.
Yoji
Shinkawa. Thank you, Ben. I should have just asked you for his fucking name.
I recall that poster, and it's sick.
It's fucking slaps. Yeah, I don't know. I saw Marvin Grossberg and I looked at him and I was just like, you simply exist as a vehicle to explain something that the player was not here for, and that is fine. I don't expect to see you in the courtroom, and if I do see you in the courtroom, I want to hit him. I'll scrap with him.
Like how
Ace Attorney
that guy
brings out the visceral need to strike people while you're in a courtroom.
Oh, man.
I do like Dick Gumshoe. I guess from all the information I absorbed from him, I was like, I thought he was just a goofy little guy who was like kind of funny, but like he's actively impeding my fucking investigation.
He's so stupid. It's criminally negligent.
Yeah, he's like, first of all, he gave me some shit like to solve the case, and I was like,
yeah,
yo, buddy, you sure?
To be like, listen, I need that phone because of the phone charms. They're really rare. Okay, here, you can have them. I
hit the other line where it was like, there's important conversations on them, and then he goes, no, there isn't. I checked, and they're still fucking there when he gives it to you.
Yeah, that's the one I hit too, and he was like, I clearly did not pay attention to this, and I was like, all right, well, you're terrible at your job, but oh well.
Don't worry, you will come to love this himbo sooner or later.
Call him a himbo.
Does he? He has not earned himbo status. That needs to be fought for.
I've been assured he's a lovable rascal, but
he's full himbo in the Edgeworth games.
Oh.
Edgeworth gets his own game?
We'll get there.
Well, I forgot we weren't talking about him yet.
We're not talking about fucking that guy yet.
Oh, don't worry. If you watch the stream, I basically tell shut up like times.
I mean, I shared my entire note-taking experience. It's just that image of the cat says, "Kissa, you bastard." That's me.
Yep. Yeah.
That's all the notes I took this case.
God, did I have any? Let me see what other notes I had. Oh yeah, the fact that like when you're investigating, and there's a part in the second investigation where you're trying to dig up dirt on Red White, and there is a photograph on Grossberg's desk, and there's two photographs, so one of a woman and one of Red White.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, all right, well the game clearly wants me to pick up the Red White picture, so I'm gonna pick up the woman picture first and see where that takes me. And I bring it to every fucking NPC, and none of them says anything. They're like, oh, who's that lady? And I was like, oh my fucking God. Okay.
I had no idea it did that.
They literally go, I don't know who that is. Who is that? April May's like, who's that, your mom? And I was like, no.
April! See, I immediately picked it up and went, oh, let me pick up the other photograph. And I was like, do you want to switch this for the photo of the woman? And I was like, for the photo of the man? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. And then I just was like, it's too late to pick it back up and examine it now. I'm gone.
Yeah. So like what I had to do was that I went to the detention center to show it to April May. She goes, no, don't know who that is. I go to the fucking hotel room to the bellboy, be like, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta run back to Grossberg's office and switch the picture.
Like running back to Grossberg. Like,
exactly. Like,
quick before he gets back, I gotta swap these photos.
I'm so glad he wasn't back. I also love the part where like you're interrogating April May and like you finally get her on the ropes and Phoenix like, yeah, I got her, and April May is like, what the fuck are you doing a fist bump?
Did you just pump your fist in
Did
the
you
air?
just pump your fist?
It's a great moment. It's legitimately great.
Oh my god.
So yeah, and then we jump to like after you get. I mean, granted that is after the first courtroom scene, but I guess we can just talk about court in general here, because here's our first introduction to the demon of the courtroom, the prosecutor who's never lost, and he's got some history with our dear Phoenix Wright. Edgeworth.
Wait, he actually has history?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that brief conversation after where you meet before you go into the courtroom there, and Edgeworth talks to Phoenix directly on the second day, the second courtroom session, and he's like, "Listen, I'm not going to go easy on you."
Oh.
Yeah. He was there. I saw him.
And so they hint at something between the two of them.
So the first time you get mention of Miles Edgeworth, Gumshoe mentions it to you, right? It's like, hey, do you know who the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth is? And you have two options, which is, yes, I know, or no, I don't. And part of me was just like, well, I, the player, know because I've seen just osmosis. So I hit that, and part of me was like, oh, what does it say if we don't know? Does Gumshoe just go off to explain who he is anyway, because he actually doesn't care about what you say?
I think so. That's my guess.
Yeah, right? Rose, how do you feel about Miles Edgeworth?
Well, I'm sick of his shit already, and I love him. I think he's gonna be my favorite character. I can see it in his eyes. Yeah.
It's the trauma.
I'm all about it. I'm a mark. I'm easily
She can smell it.
I just know. He's wearing a cravat.
I want to throw a brick into his stomach.
Yes.
This is the thing though, is that I'm not even doing this in a way where I'm like, oh, I like this character. I actually find myself, it's not necessarily that I don't like his character, but as his adversary, I'm like, God, I fucking hate this guy. He's a cheater.
I mean, he goes out of his way a lot in this first case to really just get under your skin.
Yeah.
Multiple times. By the way, I did double check real quick to see what Phoenix and Gumshoe say if you say you don't know him, Tiago.
Okay.
So if Phoenix says never heard of him, Gumshoe replies, "Whoa, and you call yourself a lawyer, pal? About 4 years ago, this Edgeworth guy became a prosecutor at the age of 20. Everyone says he's a genius. I'm surprised you don't know him." And Phoenix, in parentheses, "Of course I know him. I was just playing dumb. He's a cold, heartless machine who'll do anything to get a guilty verdict. There are rumors of back alley deals and forged evidence. All I know for sure is that Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion."
Oh God!
So there you go.
I can smell the tragic backstory from here.
So there you go. He straight up claims that he's playing dumb. So that's how they rationalize.
Okay.
Young, dumb, and full of justice.
Justice.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't know. He really fucking. First of all, the fact that this podcast name is after that fucking line got me. I was like, oh yeah, I got the autopsy report. Hey, she died instantly, idiot. Just like in nope, never mind. Getting some real Danganronpa vibes from this one. Because literally Danganronpa case 2, they have to bring up the fact that the person died instantly. But that's not the point. I'm moving away from that. Fucking updated autopsy report. Who the fuck asks for that?
Well, it's a way to you get to present it once, and then you get the satisfaction of being right because you've proven this. But then, of course, then they have to go, okay, all right. Now that you've done the basic work, now we're going to complicate it and then add another element. And so that is the idea there, I think, from a gameplay perspective. But as far as story wise, it is just it is a way for Edgeworth to just be frustrating. And I mean, here's the thing: as you might imagine, he sticks around. He's an important character.
Yeah, never heard of him.
He's your rival in the courtroom. So he will get some more depth than just being annoying. You know what I mean?
He gets his own fucking video game, so like.
I'm gonna eat the cartridge.
Wait, Rose, you can't eat the cartridge.
When do they start? When do they start putting the nasty tasting stuff on them?
No.
A switch.
I got time.
I actually now have to go to fucking eBay to find out how much expensive it is for Miles Edgeworth investigations.
Well, while you're Googling that, I did a little bit of reading again from Gyakuten Saiban Library, their translations of the Capcom blogs by Shu Takumi, chronicling the development of this game. And he has a little tidbit about Miles Edgeworth, and I'm going to just quote directly from the blog post. "Let me introduce you to the people behind the character designs and the graphics. Miss Suakane, who is the only member of the fair sex in the Gyakuten team, and Katsuro. These two made all the graphical assets for the game. I can't describe in words how much Miss Suakane helped me with the backgrounds of these characters. Her biggest achievement is Miles Edgeworth. With Miles, I had originally envisioned a 40-year-old guy. He was a beat-down Dracula. It was she who made Miles young and placed him firmly in the same position of Phoenix Wright's rival. That alone is worthy of a special decoration, placing her in the top 3. You dodged a bullet there, Miles."
I counterpoint, I also would have loved a 40-year-old beat-down Dracula lawyer.
We'll just file that away for the future. We can come back to that one.
I'll save it
in some later games.
Oh.
There will be a 40-year-old beat-down Dracula lawyer.
I cannot
in the
wait.
future as
Are
well.
you talking about the most recent one?
No, wait, is that fucking Phoenix Layton? The Phoenix Layton one?
No. Don't worry.
Alright, we can't talk
Don't
about
worry
it.
about
We
it too
gotta
much.
move on.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Everybody chill out.
My
yes.
empty brain must be preserved. No one tell me anything.
Yes. It will come up in the future. So anyway, I just thought that was a fun touch. That basically the only lady on the development team said, "Listen, you gotta make him young and hot.
We gotta have him be young and hot."
She was so right.
And she was the one who kind of solidified that design for Miles, because she was the one who was doing the art for him. So that was kind of a nice touch.
I thought
go ahead.
I thought he was supposed to be like a reference to like, well, this is Capcom, right? Like Phoenix Wright is dressed in blue, and Miles is dressed in red. So I thought that was like a Mega Man and Proto Man thing. I
don't know if that's deliberate. I think it's just more that, like, blue and red
contrasting
colors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, what's up? What were you just gonna say?
No. What I was also gonna get into was that basically we talked a lot how there's a lot going on in this case for it only being the second case of the game. Takumi also acknowledges this because he came back when he was told, after they played the early version or read the early version of case 2, like he had his pitch, told the crew, "This is my pitch for case 2," and he was really shocked when he was told that it wasn't fun at all. So his reaction to that was obvious. He says, "I started writing with the thought that I needed to make the story more fun, so I used up all of my ideas. All of my ideas.
Oh, no.
All of them. And even though it started to overflow, I stuffed in some more. I had betted everything on this one story. But my honest thoughts after I calmed down a bit and read it over, no matter how you looked at it, this was a story fit for the final episode."
Oh, okay.
So he basically put all of his ideas into the second case because he was like, "Oh, well, I gotta put all this shit in here to make it more exciting. Fuck the other, cases that are gonna come later, because I just got to make a good impression." And that's why, yeah, it's Phoenix taking down somebody who has tons of politicians, cops, lawyers, the entire justice system under his thumb. This dude's like got so much money and can just like say like, oh no, you can't charge me with anything, and everybody just goes, okay, and that's like a lot to deal with for your second case. And it's just kind of funny. And then he's like, he basically said then, well, then I had to come up with some totally new ideas off the top of my head for the rest of the game.
Oof. Like a Shonen Jump manga that's about to be canceled.
Exactly.
God, fuck, that's too real, Rose.
But yeah, he goes into a few other details. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting was that basically he wasn't going to have Misty Faye, Mia and Maya's mother, like be part of the story until when he was writing the script for the scene when Phoenix and Maya meet for the first time in the detention center, and Phoenix asks her, "Where are your parents?" He says, "Oh, right. Where are her parents?" He's like, "Ah, shit, I didn't think about that." And so then he started to work backwards from that and go, you know what? Well, if she's a spirit medium, then her mom was probably a spirit medium too. And then he comes up with the idea of like, oh, she, messed up while she was working for the cops. They hired a spirit medium and it went horribly wrong. And he built off of it from that way. So, again, throwing everything in the kitchen sink in there, spirit medium, suicides, politicians, infosec companies, bribing people.
Should never
everything's in there.
Never use the spirit medium for police work.
It doesn't seem super reliable, does it?
It happens an upsettingly often amount of times, which is a very grammatically correct sentence. I don't know.
Hey, listen. Phoenix Wright's Ace Attorney writing. I already showed you.
That it is. I mean, the medium stuff is real, so I guess. But still, come on. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
one thing that I don't know. I might be the only person here who has like a true crime interest. I don't know if anyone else does in this podcast.
No, I've definitely listened to several.
I was
Okay.
about to judge. I have so many opinions. But yeah, we got a little bit of true crime background in here, which is I'm sure gonna be totally irrelevant, judging by how the first two kind of went.
Yeah, I don't know shit about true crime. I like horror though.
Well, speaking of horror, one last history note that I had here that I thought very interesting here was about I believe last episode I mentioned that they lost a member of their team when they were developing the first team, and then they got one from the Resident Evil team. Yeah. Now this guy that Shu Takumi talks about, he just refers to him as Mori, and he says Mori comes from the Biohazard (parentheses Resident Evil) team,
hell yeah.
and he worked on both games at the same time.
Oh my god!
He did not get transferred. No, the producer said, "Okay, you got to work on both." So he says, and I quote, "When I asked for a gunshot, he immediately pulled out 30 different versions. He has very gentle eyes, and no matter what you ask him, he has only 2 replies. Don't you think it'd be good if you connected all 4 episodes?"
Wow.
Shouldn't you add a law office simulation to part of the game? Oh. It kind of gets on your nerves. But at first, I thought neither of those were necessary, and I pretended that I didn't hear him. But his words were deeply engraved in my mind. That the 4 episodes do form one story together is all completely thanks to him. So I assume that the translation here, using an accent of him saying "don't ya," and shouldn't you have connected all these things together, is he's supposed to be having like an Osakan accent or something like that, perhaps, which is very funny to me. This guy who can make 30 different gunshot sound effects and is also like, don't you think you should have an overarching story for your game rather than having 4 individual?
Don't
like that.
no.
It's just very, very, very good to hear these little anecdotes.
Shout out to Resident Evil once again saving a Capcom franchise. I don't know if they've done that before, but I feel like they did. God, that's actually super cool. I always wonder about like stuff in like game development where like they're just like, oh yeah, just pick a guy off the other team. Because me and Rose saw that documentary recently about video game production about like fucking Star Fox and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, we just got these two guys from America because they were making a 3DS thing on the SNES. Well, not a 3DS thing, but they're trying to make like. I just dropped my entire keys. I hope that doesn't show up on the thing.
Didn't hear it.
Well, the recording is on. Yeah, whatever.
I can fix it in post.
Thank God.
That's fair.
Fix everything in post.
Yeah, we saw the thing recently about like how like some game studios were just like, yeah, we'll just hire people. We'll just fucking hire whatever we need to do shit, right?
For reference, that's the forget what exactly it's called. It's on Netflix. It's about some of the early history of video games. Some of it's a little cheesy, but I really enjoyed it and I learned some things. So
yeah, that was a solid episode.
That was a fun little watch about some early video game firsts and other stuff like that.
I actually just googled it. It's High Score, the TV series.
It was
narrated.
A little cheesy.
It is narrated by our favorite boy, Charles Martinet. Shout out to Charles Martinet.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds alright.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Sorry to derail. I just was thinking about like game studios and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to come back around then, do you think well, I guess what did y'all think of the like decisive evidence bit? And the two, and we can talk about the entire climax here, I suppose. With we do the switcheroo. Instead, when Phoenix, confronts Red White makes the whole thing like swaps everything around so that instead now Phoenix is the one on trial, so you have to defend yourself, and Maya is now at your side, kind of in an assistant position. She channels her sister, and Mia says, "Take this receipt and flip it over." And so that there's that crucial piece of evidence, and then there's also the list of names that have been essentially Red White's victims over the years. Later games have, like, once they get into 3D, they literally let you twist evidence around on the screen and look at it from all sides. But in this, game, they have not gotten there yet, so there is no way to look at the other side of this receipt, so we have to have this like story beat, this last second story beat to introduce you to the opposite side of the receipt and make it a piece of evidence that you can present. How did y'all feel about this? Was this at this point it's almost on rails here in a way, but did y'all enjoy this? Did this feel like you were still solving things, or was this kind of just like, all right, I'm along for the ride now?
The receipt thing I think was good, but like I was saying in the when we were streaming, I think story-wise it's an interesting idea to end the case super abruptly, with you kind of sort of almost end up with more questions than answers out of that case, and I think that's obviously what they were going for, so I think they did a really good job with that. To just list off a name of a whole bunch of people and this guy's starting to have a panic attack, and then you're like, well, what the heck is going on here? I guess I'll have to keep playing and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there's some comedic bits, I guess, with this list, because it doesn't always handle it the most deftly. We kind of joked about it on the stream, because Phoenix is like, I'm gonna grab the most gruesome, the worst suicide out of this.
I did think that was a funny phrasing.
Yeah, it's a little odd. Say, I'm gonna grab the worst suicide out of here and use that as evidence, because it's gonna create an extra dramatic impact. I was like, well, okay, that's very lawyerly of you, Phoenix.
I fucking forgot that I wrote this down, but note is that when he reads the word suicide, he literally goes, ew. And
does he?
He goes, ew. And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
What does that even mean, Phoenix?
He just thinks suicide is icky.
I mean, I was sort of under the impression, and this may or may not be right. I don't even know if we're ever going to go into it, but that like a bunch of them weren't actually suicides, and some of them were like murders that got ruled as suicides because he had like control of the police
Right.
force. So that was kind of what I was thinking.
I thought they were literals. I thought he pushed people to suicide.
I bet it was both.
Yeah, it could have been both.
I mean, yes.
It seemed to be a mix, yeah.
Going back to like the fact that like there's just a list out read to like solve that, I was like, this. I guess I was kind of not a fan of that event simply because it was the second case, and once again you got bailed out by your boss. This time from beyond the grave, and I was like, I kind of was hoping that. Because, like, you do get, like, a piece of it. You get the receipt evidence to use against Red White. And it's like, all right, this is cool. I'm glad that, like, I get to realize the information about... Like, Phoenix got to realize the information. He saw the date, and he put it together that the dates were incongruous. But, like... Or, is that the right word? We'll figure it out.
I think that mostly checks out, yeah.
But then,
you said that with enough confidence, I didn't even question it.
No, that's probably right.
And the second time, they're just like... Oh, we need another day to rule evidence, and they need to prevent Miles from having a day to fucking cook up some evidence to the lab to make Phoenix look bad. So then Mia just starts reading, like, Mia just hands a list and gets, it's just like, hey, just start reading. And I was like, wait, what? Okay. And I was just like, I guess it is interesting narratively to have, like, a case just stop abruptly. But I was just like, I thought it would be my achievement in the second case to, like, get the verdict, as opposed to, like, just what it seemed to be divine intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, I pretty much agree with you, Tiago. I liked the receipt flipping over thing. I'm looking forward to what Des described, where you can, like, 3D turn things around. But yeah, the list reading felt a little cheap, I guess.
There's definitely a reputation that Phoenix Wright has occasionally, or Ace Attorney has, where a character will show up at the very last second near the end of the case and say, wait, you forgot this, and give you the one thing that is necessary. That typically shows up more in early cases. But if I recall correctly, that is not nearly as much of an issue in the next two cases. I like it even happened in Great Ace Attorney once, I believe.
Yes, it did.
There was in the early first case.
Like it even faded to black, and then all of a sudden it just goes. Psh.
Yeah, it's like you think your case is over, and then somebody goes, wait, and obviously that's dramatic tension, and they're gonna pull that off whenever they can because they want to make you think you have nothing left. Yeah,
you're on the ropes.
You're on the ropes, and somebody busts in the courtroom door and goes, wait, you forgot this one crucial piece of evidence. And sometimes you'll still have to look at it and figure out, well, why is it crucial?
Yeah.
But you don't have it until somebody shows up and gives it to you, much like this list.
I was going to ask a question of whether or not it was, when you said early Ace Attorneys, like early cases, I thought you meant like early as in like the beginning of the franchise. But do you mean just like early cases at the beginning of like every game? They kind of do this event?
Well, here's the thing. Every single game, the first case at the very least is a tutorial because they always have to count on you.
You always face pain.
Yeah. You always have to face Winston Payne. You always have to count that this could be somebody's first Ace Attorney game. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I think it's pretty unlikely, but hey,
listen, Pokemon does it. They have to teach you how to jump over a cliff.
Right. So they have to, for every single game, they have to find some goofy way to explain why you might not know how a courtroom works and how evidence works. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, case 1, you're Phoenix Wright. You're a newbie. It's your first time. Game 2, we'll get into some really goofy reasons to where somebody conked their head too hard. Other games you might play as somebody else just for case 1, just to who is a newbie as well or doesn't know much about the court system. for somebody who has, they have lots of ways to. I don't want to get too in weeds about it, but basically, yes, they will always find a way for the first case to be that on ramp, and then yes, early cases will definitely give you more of that. Here's a few spoon-fed pieces of evidence that you need at a crucial moment. And then every once in a while that will happen for a finale case too. If they are really trying to hit it home that, there's no way you could ever, convict this guy. There's no way you can get your innocence proven for your client. It's just impossible. And it'll fade to black, and then you'll get your surprise, announcement with some evidence popping in, or somebody saying like, wait a minute, Phoenix, you haven't looked at it from this angle. So it does happen, and hopefully it will not be too bothersome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how you guys feel about it as it comes up. It doesn't bother me too much, but obviously I've been.
Yeah, like it's also like, as much as it's a game that you're trying to figure stuff out on your own, and it's like a puzzle game, and it almost feels like it's punishing you for not having everything that you need. It's also it's a visual story. Like, they need to put in that, twist and fling and flair to add interest to the story that they're telling.
Yeah.
I think it can be done, like, better, for sure. Like, this definitely felt, a lot of things in this game have felt like, sort of like a really good prototype. So, like, I think they could definitely find a way to incorporate that moment of, like, oh, here's some surprise evidence, like, more seamlessly, so that it doesn't feel bad,
Yeah, because I think my thing is that, like, in the end, I did not feel like I put this man away through my efforts. Is that I felt like I jogged a lot, and then Mia came in and slapped me on the back and said, "I'll handle it from here, Chief." And
basically, but like, the other part of me is like, that's interesting coming from having played the game before and knowing that they did that for the purpose of making you leave this case with more, kind of almost more questions than you started with.
Oh yeah, I do need to know what
because,
the
like Ben
on.
had said, like, what if we made all of the cases intertwined and interlocked with each other?
You guys keep bringing that up. I have no questions. I'm immediately, I've got a strong sense of finality, done and dusted. This guy's in prison. Like,
I feel like we're not. I feel like we're not going to see the end of Red White. I feel like he's going to come back. Because, like, the question that I have is that this case does allude to another case that happened 10 years ago in regards to, like, the psychic thing.
I forgot about that.
that is what you.
Yeah. Oh shit! Questions now.
The question.
That is what is going to be built upon later.
Okay.
Not to crush your hopes and dreams, but Red White, unfortunately, is put away for good.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I thought he was gone for sure.
But we will definitely build on the DL6 case.
I thought
that for sure is going to be coming back.
You know what? I'm shot in the dark. I'm going to do a Tiago take right now and think that this is going to happen. Obviously, you're going to get, like, different people who are involved with the DL6 case. I assume that because Red White had all the, like, information, well, basically leaked it to the press that a psychic was used during this case, that he would have more information. But that was just a wild assumption on my part.
Well, here's the thing. You are not wrong, per se. Based on what the story establishes for us here and how influential Red White is, according to the game itself, what it's telling us, he should be way more important and show up way more, even if he does go to prison, because he had such an outsized influence on the legal system. But no, he just disappears. He goes to prison and he's gone.
Wow.
Thank God, I hate that guy.
He's gonna get killed in prison. Probably. I don't know.
I have no idea.
He probably pissed off one police officer who's in jail, and that police officer is gonna be like, "All right, time for me to kick in." This is maybe we shouldn't have this part. uh, yeah, I just thought that like Red White would be more. Yeah, I guess you've already brought up the fact that like the creators were like, yeah, we put a lot into this one, huh? We put this one in the oven with all the ingredients.
If I
Put
have to hear
everything
that
in
man
here.
talk again, I'm gonna kill somebody in real life.
I'm going to take a life.
Yeah.
Now,
Then
I
we're gonna
will-
have to ace attorney.
Yeah, I will defend you in court, Rose.
Oh, thank God.
Now, case 3 coming up next will, if again I'm going off my memory here, but I'm pretty sure this will take most of the guardrails off. At this point, like
The bowling bumpers are fucking down.
Which is
Free me.
incredible. Which is incredible
So-
because I did fuck up this case a lot. I almost died. I
Almost died.
I almost died. Like with Red White, I didn't know where to break his argument, so I was like, "Oh fuck! Oh god! I'm showing all the wrong shit. I feel so dumb." Wait, that reminds me. Now that I think about it, did y'all ever use the shattered glass as evidence?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where was it evidence?
it is used during the bit where you are trying to prove that he could not have seen it from the window.
Well, yeah, but I used the floor plan.
No, you're
for
right.
that.
You used the floor plan for that.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever actually physically
I think
used
you
the
used.
glass.
I think you used the glass. Shit, I remember using it.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't remember using it.
It might have been if I'm and now I'm like double checking the transcript here to see if I can find it. But I believe that let's see here. It might just be used in the investigation phase when you are presenting it. Let's see here.
that might explain why I don't fucking remember using it.
Yeah, I'm checking the transcript in here. It just says, yeah, Phoenix Wright used the glass shards to prove that White could not have known about the light stand unless he visited Faye's office recently, thereby allowing him to prove that White was the true culprit. So it doesn't specifically say what line you present that to here, unfortunately.
It's possible
But-
that you have. I don't know if this game does this, but like have different things you can present that are still correct. Like you could have shown the floor plan, or you could have shown the glass.
To my knowledge, that does happen rarely. There are a few instances where you could present two different to a single statement that mean the same will get the same point across, but it's pretty rare. So this might be one.
Because I was like, wow, I didn't use a shard glass at all. Oh fuck, that means there's gonna be evidence in the future that I don't need. Oh god, oh no.
Well, I had it in my mind because they keep, like, in the early phase, they kept saying, oh, you would never know that this was a lampstand because it just looks like broken glass. You would never know what this was originally. And that just, like, stuck in the back of my head. So as soon as he was like, oh yeah, and that lampstand fell over, I was like, I'm gonna get you. Look at this glass.
Time to die, Red White.
Oh, so over him.
I didn't like Red White. Shout out to April May though. She's a queen.
Yeah, she was funny. She
I
made me
did
laugh.
like her. I did like her a lot. I liked her theme that played whenever she showed up. It was so cute and bouncy.
Her theme is very catchy.
Yeah, her theme is really good.
I also love theme of Sad Maya. That was like, I felt very solemn, and I was like, oh Maya.
Oh, she's very cute. I liked a lot of her sprites, especially the one where she's like next to you in the courtroom and just make like a determined face. I thought that was adorable.
She's your friend.
Yeah, and she wants to go for burgers now.
God, yeah.
In the country of California.
God, you're so fucking Japanese.
We're going to In-N-Out Burger. Everybody get in.
We got to get burgers, and then of course, in the original game, in the Japanese version, it is obviously noodles, but it's just so fucking funny that
Wait, you could go
they
for
choose-
noodles in 2003. You could just have noodles.
I know you can just go for noodles. It's fine. It's legitimately fine, but it's so funny to me that they choose to localize it as burgers.
Getting huge
It's like-
jelly donut vibes from this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
God.
absolutely that kind
I swear to God, they're gonna pull up a fucking image of like sushi and be like, "Nice pizza, bro." And I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Just like that fucking awkward zombie comic.
Yep. I mean that's what it comes from. is
true.
What there I forget exactly which item it is, but there's some stretching of the icon for the evidence and they claim of what they claim it to be, through the dialogue. Like, that doesn't look like a jelly donut to me. I'm like, oh, that's absolutely.
Do they Oh, they don't edit the sprite. They just like straight up be like, it's the same sprite, but we're just gonna call it a donut.
Yeah, most stuff does not get edited here, to my knowledge. I think some things get tweaked here and there, when they need to change the graphics a bit. You'll get some wording localized, the usual stuff. But I don't think they don't go out of their way to create huge amounts of new visuals.
I was thinking about the 4 Kids and Sanji from One Piece.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of him having a cigarette, he has a lollipop.
Embarrassing.
And
nothing quite that bad here, I would say.
His teeth would fucking rot if he ate that many lollipops.
His lungs would fucking die if he had that many cigarettes.
Yeah, neither of those two things are good for your teeth.
You know what? Fair, valid. Cigarettes make him look cooler. No, you know what? I will say that he is cooler with the lollipops. I'll take the other side of this fence.
See, it's to me, it's just like, well, that's just what chefs do,
They eat lollipops?
Chain smoke.
Oh, yeah, that tracks. God,
so I guess overall feelings then for this case, like still feeling fairly positive on this, had a fun time still.
Oh yeah. Still have a good time.
I love this entire case.
Yeah, this case does feel really good. Just having all the, I don't know. I just think all these games make you feel fucking smart, even if you're like,
I figured out how to save scum.
Even if you don't believe in yourself, you're just like, Jesus Christ, my brain is huge.
I've made it a point not to save scum in this game. I'm trying really hard, guys.
Listen, Tiago, please understand. Every single person who has played this game has saved the game.
I mean, is it save scumming if I die, if I just save constantly in case I die?
No. The thing is...
Listen, it happens so much. It has happened so much that in the later games, you literally can just listen to the game and it will pick the right answers for you. You can just watch the game.
No, what I'm saying is that, like, even in inconsequential moments, like when Gumshoe asks you, do you know Miles? My response is like, alright, should I save here so I can see both voice lines? We
were talking about that too, like, since we've played through the game before, even Ira was like, do you say the thing that you know isn't right because you know what the answer is and you want to see what they say, or...
Friend of the site, Ira.
Oh, yeah.
Friend of the site, Ira. He's on the stream. Go check it out.
Yeah, he's been guest starring on the stream occasionally.
Oh god, I do want to guest star on the stream, but I also want to save all my thoughts.
I will go on the stream if I ever get home from work at a decent hour.
Same.
Yeah, hopefully one day we can make things line. I did check the script for some of these alternate dialogues, because one of the ones that we came up with was there's a bit where you can say that Red, White, and Grossberg were lovers originally.
Huh.
That is one of the things you can say, like, oh, he had blackmail on you. That's the obvious answer you're supposed to pick. But one of the other options you could pick was you were lovers. And I chose the right option without even thinking about it and kept moving on. And both Iro and Dessy were like, well, wonder what the lovers option is. Does that give us some really bad 2005 era gay jokes here? So I did look it up because I was curious. I was genuinely curious. And it was all right. It was all right. It was just Phoenix saying, I bet you're lovers. And he's like, we're not, my dear boy. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, he just had blackmail.
Oh,
like,
damn.
Okay. He's like, and then Phoenix goes, I knew it. You were lovers. And he's like, no. He just had blackmail on me. But it was about, and he goes on to the rest of the details then. But there's this brief moment where Phoenix
they're just like, nah.
Yeah, it doesn't get weird or gross with it. So I was pleasantly surprised by that.
I appreciate that.
He just he's just satisfied and excited that he thought he's figured it out. And there's no weird joke.
Thank God.
That was nice.
I
won't lie, we will get some gay jokes later that are not great.
I will.
But we'll have to just, cross that bridge when we get there.
Is it as bad as what, Tiago?
Persona 5?
As somebody who has not
played
Persona
fair.
5 and only watched footage of Persona 5, I'm not super knowledgeable on it. But there's in the second game there's a gay stereotype character who shows up in who I recall off the top of my head. I forget if there's anything else beyond that.
Rose, for reference, in Persona 5, when you're walking around downtown with...
okay, never mind. I know exactly what you're talking about.
okay, there we go. Yeah,
I know about Persona 5, as we've established.
We straight up don't need to go into it. That's how bad it is.
No, we don't need to go into it at all.
Yeah,
see,
I
was immediately jumped back to Persona 4, because there's
where Yosuke isn't gay.
He's not gay. Obviously, he's super not gay.
Obviously.
Why are I'm not even gonna ask the question.
Okay.
Wait,
I was gonna say, why are straight people so afraid of their characters being perceived as gay?
That's a
that's a whole thing to get into. But yeah, I mean, we will.
It's just go be bothered by something else, like money, for once.
Yeah, we will get into some of this because, like I said, game 2 and game 3 has some characters that show up, some NPCs that we can see how they're still handled. Going off my memory, I don't remember it being particularly great. Now, at the time when I played them, I was not nearly as developed as a person on my opinions on these sort of things, so it just kind of flew over my head. But going off my memory now, I'm like, I don't know if that still works very well.
Well,
we will cross that bridge when we get there.
Card-carrying homosexual, I will let y'all know how that goes.
God bless you, Rose.
So yeah, case 3 coming up in 2 weeks from now when we next record is going to be the Turnabout Samurai. Yeah, I think Tiago in particular will be very excited about this one because this is about a toku show.
Oh fuck! Really?
A murder on a tokusatsu set.
Oh my god!
Is it in that one warehouse that they always fight in?
It should be in that one warehouse that they always fight in.
Or that one abandoned quarry.
Oh, dude, the abandoned quarry. That quarry is claimed so many lives. I would love it if they did like a fake Toei intro with like the triangle on the waves.
Oh god, yeah. Well, yeah. When we play that one, I have high hopes for senior notes after that one because I bet you'll get to pick up on some more toku references than I can personally.
I will try to.
I didn't know anything about that when I was playing the game the first time, so
I will try to finish the case early so I can go on the stream and talk about it. Yes. Well, the question is it like no? We can talk about this later. It's more like Santara Kamen Rider.
Yeah. When we get there, you'll see. You'll see when we get there. But the Steel Samurai is the character that they encounter, and you will. This one is, again, this case is going to be a little bit longer than this last one. It gets a little bit longer. Each case gets a little bit longer than the last one. And
I had a shirt when I was in high school that had Steel Samurai.
Yeah, there's like a mini fandom within Ace Attorney, both in the game and in real life, for the Steel Samurai. So I'm excited for you guys to get introduced to this character. So yeah, unless anybody else had any other notes on or anything else they wanted to say about this case, I think that'll just about do it.
I'm excited to continue on. Like I said last episode, looking forward.
The podcast end abruptly as the case did.
I read a list of all the people I've killed.
I want to hit Miles Edgeworth over the head with one of those bouncy mallets in anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get to meet him, get to talk with him some more next.
Oh fuck yes!
I hope that there'll be more queens like April May.
Oh, you're gonna meet the queen of the Ace Attorney series next case.
Oh my god,
Wait.
really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. To anybody who knows who I'm talking about, they're probably laughing their ass off right now. But I am so excited for you guys to meet the one and only queen, Wendy of Ace Attorney.
Is this the
What?
clown girl that Tiago is talking about?
No, the clown girls
No.
of the 3D games are not there yet. Trust me,
She's still-
I'm counting down the minutes.
But just wait till you guys get to meet Wendy. Oh, you guys are gonna love her, I'm sure.
Oh my
Oh.
god, I'm so afraid. I
So-
don't know what to expect.
Oh man,
Terrifying
well,
excitement.
that's a good place as any to leave it. So that'll do it for us this week. You can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod to stay up to date on our latest episodes, as well as the streams and YouTube uploads that Dessy and I are doing of us playing through the game. So if you are not playing through on your own and you want to just watch somebody else do it, we are playing through the entire series, usually 2 to 3 weeks in advance of the podcast, so you have time to watch them and catch up before the podcast episode. And sometimes we have our friends on as guests, so you can meet the Yotseben and Friends extended family there. You can follow me on Twitter at Yotseben. Dessy, where can people find you online?
Yes, that's
Okay. And Tiago?
I am at Tiago S. Dutra.
Okay. And Rose?
I am at Trauma Arts on Twitter.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We hope you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Next episode, 2 weeks from now, we will be tackling 1-3 Turnabout Samurai, and we hope to see you there. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we're not doing that thing where we say donate to your local bail fund, because I will say donate to your local bail fund.
Yeah, donate to your local bail fund or mutual aid fund.
Fuck it.
Download Overcast instead of Spotify or Apple iTunes.
Wait, what the fuck? I
highly recommend Overcast. If you can
Wait, should I get Overcast?
Oh my gosh,
Do you have
so
an
much better.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Then download Overcast, the
Oh.
best podcast app out there.
Oh, fuck, I'll do it right
Looking
now.
I
for
am not paid for
sponsors.
this. Yeah.
Overcast,
Overcast?
please.
No, it's
Also-
actually the other way around.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
That's the way Overcast makes their money is podcasts pay them to advertise in their app.
Yeah.
That's how they make their money. 'Cause otherwise
Oh, I thought you meant we should be shilling towards Spotify and Apple.
No.
no,
I'm very
no.
anti-Spotify. This might be
they've
my
got
lore.
they've got their money already. Don't worry about them.
All right, sweet.
Their
Now that I know
blood
who to shell
money.
to, 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 know
Blood
who to shell
money.
to,